runs.
I don't know.
I bet this guy is thrilled that all the home runs are gone.
Who's that?
His son pitches in the big leagues. His name's Chris Harrison. Kyle's dad joining us right now on 95.7 The Game. FP is in for Dibs. Hey, Chris, how you doing tonight?
Hey, good, Mark. Hey, FP, how are you guys?
Oh, we're doing great. I say this tongue in cheek. Have you had a conversation with your son about how the ball's not flying out of the yard anymore? Is he thrilled about it?
We want to make our guys hit it out of the yard, man. That's what we're looking forward to. But no, man, he's working on just going deeper into the games. We worked a lot about he's a fly ball pitcher, so just trying to make sure he gets outs efficiently and, going long into the game, try to go 6-7 innings, which, he's a strikeout pitcher. So it's definitely a different mindset and thought process on how he attacks hitters. So I think you're seeing him kind of adjust to the league and kind of using a different pitch repertoire and going after guys, but yet being efficient as he can.
So I say this all the time, Chris, publicly, and I'm going to say it to you. I think the same things that makes your son awesome and why I love him so much, the starter with the closer's mentality that he just goes right after guys. Do you think at times it gets him in a little bit of trouble where as he evolves as a major league pitcher and we watch him start to rely on like softer and bigger situations and off speed more and maybe pitching more than, do you think, I guess this is a long-winded question. Do you think sometimes what makes him good makes him struggle at a little bit?
I do. It's like effectively wild. You guys have heard about that. It's like, those arm side misses, on the left side into a lefty, outside on a righty. That's hard to hit, right? And it's also very uncomfortable. And that's what makes him pretty effective. I think what's been interesting as he tries to pound the zone and try to get more strikes without walking guys, you're also seeing him, get hit a little bit more. And it's okay if it goes right at guys, but you saw the last game, it kind of went in between, short and third, the 6-hole and 4-hole. So like, if it goes right at guys, it's great, right? If it's not, then it's like, I'll
say because you can't say it as his dad. He got no help last time.
He got no help from the damn defense.
We were even diving for balls and knocking them away from outfielders, and it was the worst game of the year. And and your son had little to do with it. So we turned the page to tonight.
Stuff, that's kind of crazy though, right? Like his stuff was really good that night. And, you guys know the story, like a third of the time you don't have it at the other third. It's okay. And the other third, it's like you're on, right? It was one of those games where everything was rolling. So it was just a shame that those ground balls were just not getting outs on. But that's baseball, right? You guys know how challenging it is. But I think going back to it, I think he's learning, he's 22, he's learning, what works. And I think he's just adapting, every pitch, every inning, every game now on how to get outs and how to be as efficient as possible. And that's what I think we're seeing in front of us. So it's a continual journey to refine his craft and be the best version of himself so that he, doesn't walk guys, gets the strikeouts, but still also has efficient innings, getting the ground balls, getting the pop-ups without, damage with, guys on and home runs. A lot of times it's, solo home runs, which are great. It's just one bad pitch. So I think what you guys are seeing is just a continual learning of how to be efficient out there, still use your stuff and use what makes you great, and then still making the batters and hitters uncomfortable up there because you can miss a little, and some of that's intentional. So I don't know, guys. A little long-winded, but I think you guys get it.
He's making some hitters uncomfortable.
I mean, you guys saw Bryce Harper. I think the Bryce Harper incident was just kind of a really neat cat and mouse game of two highly competitive guys going at it. And, Kyle wasn't going to give in to Bryce. I mean, Bryce was frustrated. Kyle got him, on 2 strikeouts prior, and they're competing up there, and Kyle went in on him. He didn't like it and said, hey, throw it in the middle. And Kyle's like, I'm not going to make it comfortable for you and give you a pitch right down the middle so you can hit it out and score runs on us. And I'm going to make it a little more uncomfortable. And, eventually got the ground ball. But I love that. He's just learning and developing and trying to be his best out there and competing, but doing it in a professional manner. And I thought that was a great way for everyone to kind of see his true mentality out there.
I'd like to dig into that maybe even a little bit more. Chris Harrison, Kyle Harrison's dad, joining us here on 95.7 The Game. Chris, I think you said it right there at the end. A lot of Giants fans looked at that, and it spoke to them in terms of maybe getting to know Kyle's mental makeup a little bit more. What would you say that experience says to us about his mental makeup?
I think it just shows you how mature he is, for a 22-year-old. He's always had that mental maturity. He's able to slow the game down. But inside, he looks like a little kid up there, right? You see that face. But he's like an assassin that just wants to compete and win. But I think it's a great blend of having it all and then still having the mindset and maturity not to get rattled. You see how many tough situations he has to pitch out of this year alone. He just stays calm, and it's like one pitch at a time, no matter what happens. Defense behind him or a home run, gets hit. It's like, all right, let's go. Next pitch. I can't worry about what just happened. I got to focus on the task at hand and getting guys out. And that's his mentality. I hope you guys kind of saw that in that whole interaction, because sometimes it's hard to see the personality of these players, when they're on the hill, but there's glimpses, in their body of work throughout the year that you guys are seeing as he's growing and learning and, pitching at the big league level.
What's his biggest challenge as a pitcher in the major leagues?
I think just every hitter's so good. And it's like you can't take a pitch off. What's hurt him kind of in the last couple of starts has been the back of the lineup, right? Not the front end of the lineup. And part of that is because I think he's so intense on that first part of the lineup and the stars, right, that you're facing, that where he gets to the back of the lineup, he takes a little bit off potentially. And you can see that those guys can do damage just as much as, the 1, 3, 4 hitter. So I think it's just every pitch and every inning is so intense at the big league level that you really can't take a pitch off. That's the biggest surprise for him.
What's your biggest challenge as a dad watching him pitch?
Oh, I try to enjoy it, but I want success, right? And I want him, what I'm looking for is just continual development and for us to have an efficient game, give a quality start, have good stuff, and do his best that he can out there. So, I'm rooting for him and wish him the best. And then after every outing, we talked a little bit, after, a couple of days, just kind of download a little bit. But I let the pitching coaches do all that stuff. But just kind of, mentally keep him positive and reinforce that, hey, it's a continual journey and you're learning, every game and every inning. So.
Chris Harrison, Kyle Harrison's dad, with us here, 95.7 The Game. Chris, it was after that game in Arizona that we were referencing that Bob Melvin just lost it and really unloaded a bit. And I wonder how Kyle reacted to that and just the general experience he's having playing for Bob Melvin.
Yeah, I think, it needed to be said, right? Everyone knows it was a crappy game. And you're going to have those in a long season. But, sometimes you need to hear the leader say it as well. It's just, you need to get fired up. And that's what I love about Melvin is he lets the guys play. He constructs the lineup. He gives you the best chance to win, but he'll also call you on it. If you have a great performance, he'll let you know. If you don't, he'll let you know as well. And I just love the candid feedback that he provides these players so that they know that, he's got their back and he expects, high performance from this team. So they needed that. And look how they responded after.
Well, no doubt about it. And I wonder also just sort of how that has evolved through time. It feels like, and I'm not certainly getting into the whole relationship directly with Gabe versus the relationship with Bob, but because Kyle was up last year, it feels like a little bit of a different brand of baseball is being accepted, maybe something that's a little bit more of a throwback. And I wonder what Kyle and the guys think of that.
I think they all love it. Guys know that they're going to, for the most part, know they're going to be in the lineup every day and play. And then also, guys going up on the mound knowing that they're going to try to put in as many innings as they can, try to be as efficient as possible, help the bullpen, and try to win these games, right? And that's baseball, man. Just go grind and do your best. And I think we all love that old school baseball mixed in with, of course, analytics and being smart with the lineup and how you're going to pitch against guys and looking at scouting reports. But I just love the whole, old school mindset of go out there, give it your best, have the best at bat you can, pitch the best you can, and go as far as you can and play every day to win. So I think that goes a long way, and why these players like playing for them. I think this season's been tough with all the injuries. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you look at all of the injuries we have, we'd be a total different situation right now. So the positive thing is if you look at the second half, Melvin does a great job in the second half, but we got a lot of guys, in the starting rotation coming back, bullpen, and then also on the field. So I just think there's so much more ahead of this team. We just got to keep grinding and keep winning games, and we got support coming. But the injury bugs have been definitely made it tough this year, as you guys know.
Chris, how does Kyle use analytics?
He looks at the scouting reports. He looks at the computer after he pitches after each inning. I think he kind of does his own analysis. And then I think he just kind of does a lot of it on the mound after every pitch, looking at, what the batter's feet are doing, their movement, what they're chasing. And so I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. Analytics, scouting reports, but then also your knowledge, feel, and then, how is that batter actually, approaching you in that at bat, even down to the game time in each pitch, which is crazy. But the ability to be able to do that, but not just relying on one piece of data.
So I got the Astros lineup here, and let's go over it. Altuve leading off. We're not throwing him strikes because he's swinging, so we don't need to throw Altuve strikes. So high fastballs, he'll swing in all of them, just higher than high. Bregman, he's hitting 237, whatever. We're going to drill Alvarez because he's a big lefty, and that's what Kyle does. So Alvarez is getting one in the back tonight. Pena,
high fastball and high too.
Pena's hitting 300. The first four hitters, just avoid those guys. And then we got Myers, Dubon, Abreu, McCormick, Caratini. So just be careful with the guys at the top, and we're good tonight, right? Keep it simple.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that today, and he's just like, I'm just going to go throw today, man. I'm going at him. And keeping it simple, but also just going at even their best hitters, man. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So I just love his mindset. He's not afraid of any hitter and his approach, and he's just going to, go after him. And he's going to be smart, of course, with those four, but he's going to, see what they're offering and go attack them the best he can.
How often do you talk to him, Chris?
Probably every other day. Just, checking in with each other and, whether it's like personal stuff with his house and, baseball, just anything, life. We just, we talk at least every other day. So quite often. And
how often, or how quickly after a game? Like, will you talk to him after the game tonight?
Yeah. A lot of times, or he'll text me, like, hey, stuff was good. And, just threw one changeup that I shouldn't have left it in the middle, And it's like, yeah, no worries, man. Go get the spread and go chill out. And then, we'll talk the next day or something. But, again, a lot of it is, we've been doing it our whole life together. And I got another son playing college ball and summer ball this summer. So I'm super busy with him too, but we just talk ball a little bit, but I try just to talk about other things too in life and, just mindset and stuff like that. So yeah, we're super close. Your other son's at St. Mary's, right? He is. Yep. And what's his name again? His name's Bear. Bear. His real name's Connor, but we've called him Bear since he's like 5 years old. And it's stuck. So, how'd that come about? How'd you name it? Where'd the Bear nickname come from? My buddy was watching him at Kyle's games because he's 3.5 years younger, and Bear would be behind the dugout, just taking a ball and doing grounders. You just throw it off the dugout for hours at a time, just doing grounders and pop-ups, and then he'd be dirty, sweating all over, and then jumping in the garbage can trying to find candy bars, and then climbing trees. So he goes, that dude's such a bear, man. And it just stuck. And so everyone just calls him Bear. It's just kind of his name. But yeah, he had a great season at St. Mary's, started as a freshman, hit 320, 8 bombs, and actually got invited to go to the Cape this summer. So he's excited about that. He's playing with a local team. He's headed to LA tomorrow morning to play with a local team until he goes to the Cape July 11th. So super excited for him to experience that type of baseball as a just outgoing freshman, his first year of summer ball in college. So he's doing good, man, and grinding and trying to be his best and try to play this crazy game.
Well, my parents named me after OJ, so I got that going for me.
Exactly.
So stick with Bear.
Stick with Bear. I like Bear. That's a good one.
Chris, thanks for coming on. Good luck with tonight.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Go Giants, and thanks for all your support, guys. Talk soon.
Absolutely. There he goes. Chris Harrison, Kyle Harrison.